Cockney and son, now don't be daft. We've got proper opinions and plenty of graft. Old school chat with a podcast twist. So stick the kettle on, you don't want to miss. Cockney and son, 2 generations in one London. God blimey, governor.
Welcome back to Cockney and Son, episode 2. We survived a whole week without being cancelled. How did you feel about the first episode? Did it go as you expected it?
It went very well. I thought we'd be off the air by now.
Did you, have you been recognised at all?
No, not yet. But, you know, sometimes I go out with a hat and glasses on just in case.
In case the paparazzi are waiting outside.
Oh, yeah, you know.
There's that guy from Cockney and Son.
Yeah.
Well, we did actually get a lot of love for the podcast.
We did.
Very, very surprised.
Couldn't believe it.
I'm quite shocked. Not that I doubted you for a second, but we are nearly at 1,000 followers on Instagram.
I know.
People pay good money to get that far.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And also, you've been having a little go. You've been doing stories as well. You've
managed. Trying.
How many did you do?
I've done 3, I think.
And I think I did. Did you answered some DMs, didn't you, as well? Because I think I went in and saw that
some
have been up.
I don't know why I've done that, actually, yeah.
I had to go monitor them.
Yeah.
The advice that you gave was really good. That somebody actually suggested that you become Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I could do that.
The advice was so good.
Yeah.
So let's see how you do this week.
Sounds
Do you know what we're talking about this week?
Not really, no.
Okay, well, this one was voted by our amazing 951 followers on Instagram.
Yeah,
I gave a poll. Basically, it was education, dating, and I can't even remember what the third one was. Do you remember?
No, I can't
You got to remember that one. That's good. Well, we're going to talk about dating.
Oh, dating.
Are you a expert in dating?
Well, I've had my moments.
So here we go then with the first section of our podcast, which is called, do you remember?
Yeah, bit of a natter.
Bit of a natter, a little bit of a chat,
Yeah,
a little bit of chat about a subject.
of
We're not
course.
going to moan though, are we?
Not at all.
We're just going to give some advice,
I'm in a good mood.
some experience.
No need to moan this week.
No moaning.
No.
Until your rant section.
Of course.
Right, so we are going to talk about dating. So, dating back in, when did you start dating? What year? And how old were you? Did you start young?
No.
When you actually got married? How old was you when you got married?
About 24, I think it was.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Something like that.
Did you go on many dates before you got married to my mother, which we won't be talking about? Okay, just going to say that now. We're not talking about anything to do with you and you and mum. Okay.
No, went on a few
We're
dates.
talking about pre.
Yeah.
Pre.
Went on a few dates.
Typical date in the 70s.
Yeah.
All right.
No, well, a lot.
All right. What's her name from back there?
Oh, I remember Sue or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
Sue. All right, Sue.
But then, you know, like,
Would you fancy coming out for a date?
well, back then, a lot of people didn't have landlines. I mean, I never had a landline.
Yeah.
So what I done, I took the phone number of the telephone box on the corner of the road. Said ring me at sort of 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I wait by the phone box. When it rang, she thought I had a landline. See.
Right. So you didn't have a landline in your house.
No.
So it was acceptable to tell a member of the opposite sex that you were going to hang around a phone box.
No, she didn't know it was a phone box.
What?
She didn't know it was a phone box. She thought it was a landline.
Oh, okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
When she rang me and I answered, she thought I was indoors. But I was in the phone box.
Okay. Lovely. Well, if you did that nowadays, I don't think it would go down very well. Right. Okay. So you're at the phone box.
Yeah.
Sue has rang you.
Yeah.
Susie. All right, Steve.
All right, so how you doing? Had a good day, have you?
Right. Where are you taking her?
Oh, we normally go to sometimes for a meal, a nice meal, sometimes to the old flicks, the old picture house.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause back then there was some good films on about.
Yeah.
And
So meal in the cinema.
yeah, or like, you know, maybe for a drink, you know.
So what do you think the difference is between dating, like now? If you was 20, how old was you then?
24.
24. So if you was 20,
No, I was before.
yeah.
I was about 7.
Did you go on a date after you got married?
I was about, oh no, not really. I was about 17, 18.
Right, okay.
You know.
Obviously 17, 18, you can't get into any pubs or anything like that.
Well, we did.
So back then though, obviously nowadays it's a little bit more relaxed in terms of like getting married, settling down and stuff like that. Was that a pressured thing back then?
Back then it was like you had your family sort of followed each other with like marriage and whatnot, and it was like expected
to get married.
Yeah, but you know but nowadays
it was getting a bit more relaxed though.
Yeah, it's getting more relaxed these days.
Even when you got married, it was getting more relaxed.
It was easier back then because you could approach a girl and like, you know, with you could go up to a girl and start chatting to her. But nowadays, you would like, I don't know, should I go over and have a chat? You know, don't know what reaction you're going to get.
I think social media has a lot to do with dating nowadays. Like, people have high expectations because of like reality TV and
of course. Yeah, I mean, because
you had none of that back then.
Well, no, because you never had all that. You never had as many magazines as you got now, and sort of like the girls like they see these magazines and they want to be like that. But that's not real life, is it?
Magazines?
You know, the beauty magazine. No.
I mean, like, obviously nowadays, if you're like growing up, like as say like you're sort of 13, 14, 15 now, and then you're seeing the expectations of like certain reality shows of how girls look, and then a lot of girls or boys or whoever like vet the potential person on social media. So they'll go on and have a look at them, have a look at their grid and see like potentially
but
if they are out all the time or
but is that the best way to go about it?
I suppose the lucky thing about when you was dating was that it was all like anonymous. I suppose like if you didn't know someone, you didn't know them, and there wasn't a way.
No, that's right. There wasn't a way to. And there wasn't a way unless they give you their phone number. And they didn't give you their address. You wouldn't know where they.
Isn't this the phone number of the telephone box in Fulham?
Is that on the corner of Elm Street?
You finally ask Sue for a dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you go right. I've had a great time at the Bird's Nest.
Yeah, and would you like to go out on a date?
Yeah, courting.
Sometimes they would say yes, all right, but sometimes they say no.
How many did you get? What did you get? More yes or no's?
Well, it's sort of evens. I would have thought.
Okay, so second date. What's kind of like you said like dinner, bit dinner, cinema,
or the pictures.
But even now, I don't think like the date like now, I feel like if a guy or whoever, let's just say 2 people, I think there's an expectation of where they get taken for dinner. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like,
right.
I don't think that expectation was back then.
No, because also, apart from the rich, you never went to sort of fancy restaurants. The rich people.
Yeah.
You never went to a fancy sort of nowadays, fancy restaurants. When you go to...
What's a fancy restaurant back then? You mean like in a hotel? I don't know.
Yeah, mostly in a hotel. I mean, you had your restaurants, but you didn't have, the...
So where did you take Sue? Pie mash?
What?
Sue, double pie for you today,
I think she had a double pie mash,
double pie, double mash.
Yeah, and if she was in a good mood, she got she could have a dessert and all.
What would the dessert in the pie mash shop be?
Yeah, they done like apple crumble.
Screwball.
Apple crumble with a bit of custard.
Apple crumble with a bit of custard. I mean, I actually think I prefer that.
Also you had your pub food as well,
Because I don't think was there a lot of choice back then. Like you have like Nando's, Wagamama's, and other various restaurants. No, so it's either like pub dinner, no?
Yeah.
Pie mash. Mm-hmm. Then what would be like the one up? Because I would say that nowadays it would be like, I don't think anyone would take someone to the cafe for a date. Richard takes me to the cafe all the time, but that's after. I mean,
back then, working man's club was a cafe where blokes used to go and have breakfast before they went to work or during work.
So it would be like...
You didn't see many women in a cafe.
Oh. But what I'm saying, date-wise, it would be like cafe, then one up from there would be like pie mash.
Yeah, it could be pie mash. Then you also, you had some of the chip shops. Chippies had their own restaurant at the back.
All right, fish and chips. And then it's a massive jump to like the Ritz. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
There's not really anything in between.
There wasn't really, no.
Because like some people are a bit like Wagamama's. Well, that's a bit pricey.
No, they didn't have Wagamama's. I mean, some of the food.
No, I know they didn't have Wagamama. But what I'm saying nowadays, but I think like now I'm saying if a let's just say a boy asked a girl out for dinner to a restaurant, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to take you to Nando's." Yeah. I think a lot of girls, not all of them, or whoever, would probably be unimpressed straight away that that's where they're being taken. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people are very, very picky. Not that you shouldn't be picky and like settle. Do you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, I think the impact of like social media, reality TV, and expectations has made people actually miss out on people that they probably would have really, really liked if they met back in the 70s.
But also, like, you know, you did get some guys that would try, you know, go over the top and try and impress. Some made cars.
That's what I'm saying. So it's sort of similar, because obviously you get the guys that who could drive.
Yeah.
Had a landline. It's cordless. No, not yet.
But
if you ring it, and I'll ring you back.
I couldn't ring it back.
Don't even have to pay.
I had no change.
And my last point before we move on to the next section, I just want to get what your opinion is on dating apps. So that wasn't available back then, dating apps.
Cool, no.
No. So do you know do you know anything about dating apps?
Not really, no.
No?
It's obviously you go on these apps and you can look for someone.
Yeah.
But then
do you know how they work?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't think you should go on them.
I ain't going to know it. No. No, but the thing is, you go on these apps. I mean, I've seen, like, obviously I know a little bit about it where they swipe along. Oh, he's nice, or if she's nice. But you don't know what that person's like, personality-wise. I mean, sometimes, looks ain't everything. Personality is a top priority, I think, for me.
So if you like got the concept of a dating app, back to 1970s, there was a queue of girls in front of you. You go, right, Steve's coming, ladies, line up. Yeah. And they step forward and you go, no, push them out of the way.
Yeah.
No, push them out of the way.
Is it?
Then you go.
But that's just going on looks. Is that just going on looks?
Well, I guess you get to read.
Yeah, but what they put down might not always be true. You know?
Well, I suppose they would find that in the end.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So the people could be putting down like.
Well, yeah, it's
all sorts of
the internet, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but so people could put down the girl go or the bloke go, that's impressive. But when you meet the person, sometimes not even the same person.
I don't think, but also, so then you would go like that, right? Then you push the girls that you like, then get the girls that you like. Then I think that they...
But that's only going on looks then before you actually speak to them.
And then, I think, then they have to swipe if they like you.
Yeah, of course.
And then that's a match.
Yeah.
So that's how they meet.
Is that how they meet?
That's how they meet. Well, that's
and
how
then they go out for a night and then they've got nothing in common.
Well, you don't know. I'm sure people are still... You know. There's been successful stories.
Yeah, I would have thought... Yeah, no doubt.
Do you think they're a good thing, or do you think they should be banned?
No, people want to use them.
Yeah.
You know, I've got no problem. If people want to use them apps, let them use them.
Keep them. Yeah. All right, okay.
I mean, sometimes, you get... As you say, you get sort of mature people that go on them because they've lost a partner or something and they're looking...
I think there's specific ones though for ages.
Oh, yeah, of course. Looking for a bit of company and all that. Yeah.
So, hypothetically, we're creating a dating app profile.
But I wouldn't be going.
No. Hypothetically, that means we're not actually going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. We go. Click. I've got your photo.
Yeah.
Name.
Steve. Yeah.
Age. 68.
68.
Hobbies.
Football, music, films.
Yeah.
Walking.
Not very well.
Not very far.
Career.
Retired.
And just looking for
a laugh. Bit of laugh.
Bit of company.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
No strings attached, all that game.
No strings attached.
Yeah, just a
do you know what that means?
No, not really. Just having a laugh on it.
So, do you think it'd be funny if we did set you up on one and see what happens?
Yeah, a bit that one, but then I'm not. I wouldn't be that sort of.
I'll just pretend. I'll bet them for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, right. Okay, so dating. What would you say? Final outcome of this discussion: dating back in the 1970s or dating in 2025?
1970s.
Now it's time for your favourite part of the podcast, which is do you remember what the second part of it was?
Yes, the rant of the week.
Rant of the week. Yes. Rant of the week. No jingles. Can't afford jingles yet. Yeah. Right, so the only thing is I've changed the title of this one because I listened to the podcast and as it's a pilot, you get to change things, feedback, listen. So I've got rid of got the ump.
Yeah, and renamed it as
Would You Adam and Eve It?
Yes.
Which is Cockney for
Believe.
So I think that's a bit better, isn't it? I allow you to just do what you want with this section. Couple of minutes to rant about something that's annoyed you during the week, or just in general, or something you can't get off.
Okay.
Chip you can't get off your shoulder. Yeah. What's the subject you're going to moan about this week?
It's going to be Christmas.
Christmas.
Yes.
Christmas.
Because I went to a card shop.
The happiest time of the year.
Yeah, it's a lovely time of the year. Yeah. But I went in a card shop the other day. I've got some, birthdays coming up.
Yeah.
And on the shelves, Christmas cards.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
what's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's June.
Yeah. You can get it done. Get it out of the way.
Yeah, I understand that. Some people love it. I mean, but it's too early. I mean, I was getting bits for my holidays coming up.
Yeah.
And now I've got Santa looking at me.
Yeah.
Giving me oh ho ho. And I haven't had me summer holiday yet.
So is it just Christmas cards or Christmas in general celebrating early?
Christmas in general celebrating early. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, you've got the summer to come yet. Mm-hmm. People going on their holidays. And then you've got your Halloween.
You don't like Halloween?
Bonfire night. Well, Halloween's a bit of American, but people enjoy it.
Yeah.
You got your bonfire night.
Yeah.
And then you.
So you because you say this every year. This isn't a new thing that you're ranting about. No. It's not that you've gone into the shop and you've seen cards.
I say it every year.
Oh, it's Christmas already.
Well, it is because.
Do you have
I think the magic has gone a bit because when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You never got any. You didn't see no adverts till at least December.
You didn't have a TV.
Oh no. But you wouldn't go down the street and see look in someone's window, and there'd be a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Until like beginning of December.
It's not Christmas Day.
Well, some put it down like 12 days before and 12 days after, didn't they?
You don't even put a tree up though.
No.
Because you're never there.
No, I'm never there. Yeah. Don't tell that. People go around rob me.
Well, I don't think they know where you live.
No, but I mean, we would, as kids, we would sit down and make the the chain things.
Yeah. Link chains.
And it was all like, it's all magical.
So you say it's only magical because you only decorated your tree 12 days before Christmas?
No, not only beginning of December.
So you're saying it's not, if anything November, anything before December is not magical?
No. No, it's not. It's not magical. Yeah, it's not magical, is it?
On social media in sort of June, I think it's like obviously 25th of June or whatever, loads of people go, right, 6 months.
I saw one the other day on Facebook. It was saying it's so many Fridays to Christmas.
Yeah, I see those ones.
And I'm thinking
12, 20 Fridays to Christmas.
And you're thinking, really? Just people want to know that. People are struggling there.
Yeah.
With cost of living.
Oh no. You're not going back to inflation,
are you? And then they're going to start thinking, Christmas. What the kids want.
So you're being empathetic towards people realising that Christmas is expensive, obviously. But actually, to turn that around, flipped on its head, the 6 months reminder to people could be, I've got 6 months till Christmas now.
Yeah.
I better put some money aside. So it's not like the 1st of December.
Yeah, but can they afford that? I mean...
I'm just saying I
can understand why people get excited about Christmas.
Yeah.
You're one of them. You love Christmas.
I do like Christmas, yeah. Yeah,
but I just think it's a bit early. I like Christmas, but I just don't like it being advertised so early.
Early. And on TV?
TV.
Because they fight for the adverts, don't they?
They fight for the adverts. They come on in about September, October.
Yeah.
It might be just an age thing, and then you see all these adverts and you just get fed up with it.
Right.
And then you go in the shops and the Christmas... I mean, I like Christmas songs, but... Did
you hear that in the card shop when you was picking out your birthday?
No, there was no songs. It was just the cards. And I just thought, we're in June. I hadn't even got my suntan all the way up on my holidays. The shops never used to decorate until coming up, end of November, beginning of December, all the shops would start.
Yeah.
Especially at the West End, because I was a telegram boy up the West End way, and they had Selfridges, all them, the big stores, and they do their windows superb.
Do you still go look at them now?
Sometimes, yeah. I like to get on the old Route Master bus. Yeah. And they do a tour. They do a tour, yeah. They do a tour.
Scrooge, look, there he is on the bus.
Yeah, it's Oliver.
It's too early. Turn it off.
It's Dodger.
Turn it off.
So there was obviously a few wallets.
One of the reasons that you don't think it should be advertised early is because, and you said the magic is lost. Because I remember the boy's first Christmas, and you stayed, didn't you?
Yeah.
Obviously, as a new parent, we did go a bit OTT.
Yes, yeah.
But I do feel like we've got better.
Yeah.
As the years have gone
Yeah,
on.
of course.
So Christmas for you did you? They used to say, if you're good, Santa brings you a present or an orange or whatever that you used to get.
Well,
yeah.
my mum's saying you'd be good. It sort of went out the window a bit.
Yeah. Or a bit of coal.
Yeah, I had a bit of coal.
No, you didn't. You didn't actually wake up and be a bit of coal, because I don't believe you. I'll have to ring Auntie.
Bit of coal and a tangerine in my stocking, right?
Right.
And it made me walk funny.
We talk about Christmas and social media and all those things that go in it and the pressure of that. But one present, is that what it used to be like?
One sort of, one, you got
one or two?
One or two, maybe. It all depends. You get maybe one off your mum, and then like your aunties and uncles might get you a little gift. I mean, I had one uncle every year would wrap up football.
Yeah. Was that your best thing?
And he'd go, I bet you can't guess what that is.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still couldn't guess.
Was it Globe? What was the best Christmas present that you ever got?
What, when I was a kid?
Yeah. Football.
A football and a Chelsea shirt.
Football and a Chelsea shirt.
Yeah. You used to write a list for like volume 4.
Yeah. Which leads me to my next part of this rant. Because when you said you're going to talk about Christmas, I feel like this is perfect.
Yeah.
Because I've been keeping something to myself all these years.
Well, you ain't got a present for me, have you?
No. Yeah, it is. It's your fame now. I get a lot of people that say to me, kids won't remember toys and things like that. They're just going to remember the good times. Where's my Tracy Island?
Well, we tried.
Where's my Tracy Island?
We tried some. It was just out of stock.
Thunderbird, what was the year? Can't even remember. 1990? 1990?
Something like that.
Something like that. Tracy Island, Thunderbirds, Christmas toy, number 1. Everyone wanted it. You didn't even make me the Blue Peter version.
Oh, no, because we didn't have the
materials.
Materials, yeah.
And what bit paper mache you couldn't do?
I remember. I shouldn't really be saying this, but the.
No, we're not. I'm not. If you're going to talk about the toys that you got me, is that what you're going to say? You can't.
You like those toys?
I did like them toys, but we're not going to talk about how I came to have those toys.
No, but
you gave me evidence to play with. So how hard did you and Mum try to get that at Tracy Island? Because there's no Amazon back there, nothing like you can't build them.
You had to hunt the shops.
Hunt the shops?
Yeah.
How many shops did you go to?
Well, at least 5 or 6, but you know they weren't going
Toys R Us? What other ones?
There weren't Toys R Us then.
Yes, there was.
What, the night was there?
Of course there was.
We went Peter Jones, John Lewis, the
Oh.
local toy shops, but there's none. And that's the power of TV. So they put them on the TVs, and the kids say, "Oh, I want that, I want that."
One show that back then though, in the 90s, we never had Sky.
Well, look at that film.
What?
With Arnold Schwarzenegger in it when they're trying to get the figure.
Yeah, Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
I can't watch it. It gives me PTSD.
It was like that.
Yeah, at least he got that kid. Look what he did to get that thing.
Yeah, but
he was in the parade. He was.
Yeah, but did he have a job? Someone was working.
He did have a job,
Yeah.
and the other dad had a job. He was actually a postman, a mailman.
Yes, right.
That's what and he sort of gave up his day of work to get that. So
Christmas was a busy time.
Although yes, I do agree.
Christmas was a busy time for posties.
All I'm saying is I do agree that it's about who you spend your time with, and it's magical. But I never got Tracy Island, and I always remember that. And I can't even look at a Thunderbird.
Can't you have a tattoo?
No.
Tracy Island.
And sometimes when you're walking down the street, I think you're taking the mick. But you're pretending to be one. So I remember it's your knee. So Christmas, celebrate it whenever you want to.
Yes,
yeah?
I understand. Yes, if people want to put trees up in June or whatever, July.
How many trees do people put up nowadays? Anyway, so would you Adam and Eve it? Christmas cards in June? Get them out of here.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
It's not a good look.
No.
Go away, Santa Claus. Get back up that chimney. Don't come back till the 1st of December.
Chimney, mate.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
The next part of the podcast, and it is the advice corner. This is the section where you get to spill your words of wisdom, the advice that you've required for 68 years of your life, where the population of our 951 followers, are actually very lucky because they don't know what they've got. They've got a fountain of knowledge. Was that how you describe yourself?
Well, yeah, sometimes.
Depends what it is.
Yeah, and if people don't want to take it on board, then it's up to them. But if they ask me advice and I give it and they don't like it, then it's...
I mean, that kind of sounds like that's not a great person to
No.
be asking for advice. I
No,
suppose,
no.
yeah. If you know, you did touch on this last week, and actually, we did get a lot of feedback from people that said that it is nowadays quiet. You can't say this, you can't say that.
Well, see,
You have to sugarcoat things.
Well, you can't do that. You know, some people, you know, you have to. Sometimes you have to be not cruel, but you know, you have to tell them how it is.
Yeah.
And if they can't deal with that, then you know,
their own problem.
It's their own problems. You know, you're trying to help someone. If they don't want to take the advice.
So if it was a random person, like obviously we have a random person asking you,
Yes.
so you ain't got don't worry about that.
No connections, yeah.
No connections. So if someone like a member of your family asked you for some advice, would you
I don't know what happened.
if we need advice on what would we need advice on? Where's the best place to shop for baked beans? No. So I'm only joking. You give really good advice to the kids because mentally you're all at the same age. Yeah.
Well, same mental age, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Perfect. Keep your brain young.
Yeah, of course.
No stress.
You know.
Right. Okay. So I didn't rename this section. I don't know if you know this. That a lovely follower
Yes.
was so happy about your advice and the way you give it, and sometimes you just gotta do it. That they came up with a catchphrase that I saw and thought, oh my god, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
Even to the point where they even, this is a very good compliment because me and Richard have never done any Two Dads in London merchandise because it's just cringe and I couldn't put myself through that. But she said if you ever brought out merch, you should get a t-shirt or something printed for people to wear that says, say it like Steve. Say it like Steve.
Really?
Just say it like Steve.
Yeah.
So if someone's like struggling in a situation, like two people, random, and I don't know what to say to this person because I want to give her some tough love, just say it like Steve.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
Yes, that's very good. It's a catchphrase, actually.
Say it like Steve, isn't it?
Say it like Steve.
It's not very Cockney in theme with the aesthetic of the podcast, but can you say it?
Say it like Steve.
Just say it like.
Yeah, say it like Steve.
Say it like Steve.
Yeah.
Do it
I
then.
mean, say it like Steve. And it's like...
We got a question, and it's not going to be a long one. This because
Okay.
it should. We've kind of touched on it anyway. But describe your ideal date. But you've sort of already done that, haven't you?
Yes, ideal date, yeah.
Okay.
It all depends on...
What does it depend on?
well, it all depends on what sort of income you got.
So, John has saved
Yeah.
£100
Okay.
to take
For a night out in London, for a day out in London.
a date.
In London.
Okay, so
£100.
you had £100, which is a lot of money. Yeah, it is a lot of money.
Well, it is, but it is a lot of money. But sometimes you go into a restaurant, you could be paying, with food and drink. You could be paying 60, 70 quid.
Right. Okay, but then you wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't recommend going to that restaurant, would you? So
Well-
so if you had £100 to spend on Chantel, yeah,
Chantel.
for modern name, and you lived settled London, yeah. There's some free things that you can do.
Oh yeah.
You can go Sky Garden.
You can go, yeah, but then once you're up there and you want
Yeah,
to,
but you have £100.
yeah, but then
and a memorable date.
of course, yeah, but then Chantel would most probably want a couple of glasses of champagne.
Wow, just because
something like
of
that.
the name Chantel.
No, but when you're up there, there's a bar there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to say, Chantel, would you like a drink?
So, but he has £100 to spend.
Yeah, and-
so in his mind,
He's going to go, Chantel.
why
would
am
like-
I planning it for you?
No, she's
Right,
gonna
you're
go,
planning it.
Right,
Right,
she
go.
goes, Chantel, would you like a drink? What would you like?
Yeah.
Would you
I feel like you don't like Chantel.
No, I'm saying, would you like a drink? She's going to say yeah.
Yeah.
And it might be saying like
How much is the champagne in the
gin and
Sky Bar?
tonic or something, whatever she wants
Yeah.
to drink. Here go, excuse me, sir, gin and tonic, please. And I'll have a lager, please.
Yeah.
That'd be 40 quid. And they're going to go, what?
We'll have £60 left.
Yeah, I know.
That's
but
what I'm
then,
saying. So what?
But then they've had nothing to eat yet.
Yeah, but then they have £60.
But you go into a restaurant,
Yeah.
all depends what restaurant you're going to.
Yeah.
But he wants to maybe impress you, take it to like
Yeah.
a bit of a nice restaurant.
And
That's going to cost you more than 60 quid.
should I tell you who would be the perfect person to answer this question? It would be Richard, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, of course.
Financially,
Yeah.
superhero.
Yeah, but it all depends.
You know
if
what it's
like-
like with the holidays?
Yeah.
So you imagine what it was like when me and Richard were dating, where we used to go.
Yeah.
100 quid. I think Richard could plan a really good date for
Of
£100.
course. Yeah, but then but in London, it's expensive.
Yeah.
So, £100
do a walk.
and £100 wouldn't get you very far.
But first date though, you want to try and make it memorable,
Yeah, of
because that
course.
might be something that
Yeah.
you talk about for the next.
I mean, you might want to take on the London Eye.
So £100 is easy to date, I think. But if going on to it, Chantel was a bit like, oh, taking me here. That's the issue that you've got, isn't it?
Well, then maybe that's not the one for him.
There you go.
Chantel is obviously looking for an high class guy.
Yeah.
That's
A
gonna.
high baller.
He's gonna be like. I mean, a lot of people back in the day, girls used to, their mums used to say, "Look down at your shoes."
Look at your shoes.
Yeah, and if they're nice and shiny, you got a good bloke.
Right.
But nowadays, very rarely you see blokes actually wearing shoes. It's always trainers,
Trainers are really expensive.
Yes.
I-
So as he looks down, he's got like, I don't know, Air Max on or whatever they call it. £100. She's going to think, oh. But if he's got a pair
I actually think it's more than that.
But if he's got a pair of Lidl
Yeah.
trainers on,
Yeah.
she's going to think.
But don't you think that's a bit sad, though?
Of course it is. I
Anyway,
think it's sad.
well, this is not the question.
think it's
We're going back into the topic of the day,
Yeah, but I'm
which
just
was
saying-
very inspiring,
Yes,
very
I'm
insightful.
just saying that £100 is not going to get you far in London.
No.
No.
Yeah. So he should just not bother.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't bother.
Yeah.
But, he saved up. I mean, it might have took him a while to save up £100. So he's taken on this date and he's lashing the dosh out.
Yeah.
When it comes to the second date, he might not have so much money. And he might take her somewhere that, obviously, you said, she might not agree. She's been thinking, but then again, she might go, oh, that's nice. And he took me for a nice date, and now we go.
Well, if you got asked out by a girl back in the day, what would you think?
Oh, yeah? Is that a copper? No.
Excuse me, sir. Can I just check your pockets? Right.
And she starts patting you down.
So so the advice, it wasn't really like advice. It was just basically we did our own thing on the question because you kind of answered it already.
No. The advice is like if you've got £100 to spend, make it memorable.
Yeah.
But don't try and do that all the time because you're just going to be out of pocket, and then you're going to. Then you're
the
going to
expectations are going to
then you're going to get stressed.
Basically, you're saying Chantel, whatever he plans for you, you better like that.
Yeah. Don't be a gold digger.
So, advice of the week. Don't be a gold digger. Say it like Steve. That's it. There we go.
You could have another. You could have it on the back of your t-shirt and then just to turn around.
Say it like Steve. Don't be a gold digger. I love it. It won't sell, but I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So last week we ended the podcast on a Cockney. Guess what the Cockney slang was like the word.
Yeah.
A lot of people commented.
Did they get it right?
They did quite a lot. So it was dustbin lid.
Yes.
Was the phrase.
Yes.
And it meant.
It means kids.
Kids. There was no prize for the winners.
Okay.
So it was just general knowledge.
Yeah.
So the word of this week, episode 2, which if you do want to have a guess, don't Google it because I feel like a lot of people Googled it.
Okay.
Yeah. The second highest country to view our podcast was New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah. Don't tell me that they knew what dustbin lid
No,
was
most
without
really
having
not.
a
No,
Google.
no.
Right. So take it away.
This week's Cockney slang word is
Of the week.
Of the
Do
week.
it again. This
week's Cockney slang word is
of the week.
This week's Cockney slang word.
Right, let me just do it. This week's Cockney slang word of the week is
Aunt Nell.
Can you use that in a sentence?
Yeah, of course you can.
Go on in.
God.
Right, I've found it for you.
Yeah.
He don't arf Aunt Nell.
Yeah.
He don't arf Aunt Nell.
Yeah.
Is that obvious?
Yeah. No.
I think it's obvious if you know it.
Yeah.
Don't Google it though, because you're just going to ruin it for yourself.
Try and figure it out.
So when we do the podcast on Instagram, there's a comment section, and obviously on YouTube. So wherever you choose to comment it, have a go at figuring out, without using the internet, what Aunt Nell means. And we will let you know on episode 3.
Yes.
If we get to episode 3.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we're going to end the podcast now, okay? You still want to do episode 3?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Yes.
We did it quite quick this week as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it took you 4 times to set up.
Yeah, that's right. We're in a new room as well. Look,
You're getting better.
Look at the expensive backdrop.
Oh, we're in the boardroom.
You've got my paint, my bit of art there.
Yeah.
And I put that plant from the front room. Well, thank you so much for everyone who stuck around for the whole entire episode 2 chat. Hopefully you can go forth. Go forth. Yeah?
Bit posh, isn't it?
Go forth.
Yeah.
There. We'll teach you phonics at some point. Go forth with your newfound dating knowledge that you've obtained from episode 2. And God knows what will happen with your love life.
I'll tell you what, there'll be more couples getting together this week.
Yeah.
Than ever.
The baby statistics will be going up.
Well, you've got the sunshine, you've got a bit of romance in the air.
And all we ask is if that does happen from the advice that you name your child Steve.
Yeah.
Because the name can be up and coming again.
Or Stephanie, you have the girls' version.
Stevie.
Yeah, Stevie. Yeah.
Steve. Can't imagine that nowadays.
Well, no,
My new baby boy, what's his name? Steve.
No, Stephen, but I mean...
Do you know what I mean?
Stephen is a bit like... only my mum, and the police call me Stephen.
Stephen. Well, I call you Dad, or I don't know him.
When we...
If you do follow or listen to the podcast on iTunes and Spotify, please make sure that you subscribe to it. Or if you prefer to watch us, then you need to head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe, like that channel. And don't forget, if you did enjoy episode 1, episode 2, please go and review it on iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube, because that will help us move up
a flashback.
Up a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. If there's any knee surgeons that need some social media exposure, and you want to operate on both knees,
have a practice.
We can film it.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe we could do the podcast whilst you're having the surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, we'll see. You never know what happens.
That's true.
Well, there we go. That was episode 2, done and dusted. Anything you want to say to end it?
No, lovely people. I'm glad, if you're enjoying it, we're so glad. So enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah.
And tune in next week.
And if you see him on a dating app, swipe left.